Welcome to the viewers. Now we discuss Hamilton's canonical equations from the principle of stationary actions. At first, we can write integral t0 to t1 del L dt is equal to t0 to t1 del of pqi dot minus h dt. Since L is equal to pqi dot minus h, therefore h equals to pqi dot minus L. Now using the definition of the Hamiltonian, taking the variation, so we have integral t0 to t1 del L dt equals to integral t0 to t1 sum of I equals to 1 to up to n. If we take these variations, that is, here it is a pi, some mistake is there. Pi del qi dot plus, here it is a qi dot, and h is the function of pi and qi. Therefore, we can write it as just to break the step here, just one more extra step we have to calculate it here. Qi dot delta pi minus del h del pi and delta pi minus del h del qi and delta qi. And within dt. So just we grouping it, integral t0 to t1 sum of I equals to 1 to up to n pi del qi dot plus qi minus del h del pi, variation of del pi, minus del h del qi del qi and dt. Now we have del qi dot, that will be ddt of del qi, it's clear, and so integral t1 t0 to t1 pi del qi dot, that will be t0 to t1 pi ddt of del qi dt. So that will be integral t0 to t1 pi, and it will be for d of del qi. That is a function of d of del qi. Now here, by taking by parts, first function integral of the second, that is pi, integral of d of del qi minus derivative of the first, that is t0 to t1 d of pi, that is a ddt of, that is pi, that is a pi dot, and integral of del qi, that is del small qy dt. Here t0 to t1, but here if we consider this term will be 0 if this function del q t1 minus t0, so it will be 0 minus integral t0 to t1 pi dot del qi dt. So that will be minus of t0 to t1 pi dot del qi dt. So we find this way, since del qi vanishes, but this 0 terms actually at the terminal points t0 and t1, because that's 0 occurs here. Actually these things happen because this del qi vanishes at this result. But it will be better to write it here. Del qi vanishes at the terminal points t0 and t1. Now here we can write, therefore del of t0 to t1 l dt, that will be t0 to t1 del l dt, that will be t0 to t1 sum of I equals to 1 to up to n minus, we can write it as del h del qi plus pi dot del qi plus if we take within the bracket and already converting these terms pi to qi using this result, and qi dot minus del h del pi dt. The equations and the quantities del qi and del pi being arbitrary and independent, the principle of stationary action variation of t0 to t1 L dt is equal to 0 gives this separately 0, that's the coefficient of del qi and del pi separately 0, that is del h del qi plus pi dot is equal to 0 and qi dot minus del h del pi equals to 0, that is pi dot equals to minus del h del qi and qi dot equals to del h del pi. So finally we reach our desired result and we derive Hamilton's canonical equation from the principle of stationary action. Now we end our discussions. If you like this video, like it, share it, and don't forget to subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching.